Welcome everyone to our next episode of Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz. This time of year, the Archdiocese conducts what is called the Catholic Services Appeal. This is an opportunity to engage the faithful in the life, mission, and work of the services of the Archdiocese. It's an exciting time because it's a time first of accountability about what's going on, but also a sharing of the story of the needs of our people that we serve. So let's take a few minutes before we get started with the rest of our conversation to watch the video, this year's video on the Catholic Services Appeal. Our theme this year is Bringing Christ to Others.
For so many years, the Archdiocese of Louisville has relied on the Catholic Services Appeal to serve so many people, doing so much good in touching the lives of others. One great effort that you have when you support the Catholic Services Appeal is helping our brothers and sisters in need. Of course, many things come to my mind. The great work that occurs through our Catholic charities, through the Sister Visitor Program, through our Catholic Enrichment Center, and through counseling throughout the Archdiocese. Your efforts to provide support touch the lives of people who turn to the Church in their need.
There's nights where I've had to go hungry. There's been times where I've had to sit with no utilities for a few days until I could come up with what I needed to come up with. And my neighbor across the street told me that there was a place on West Market that could help me. She called it the Sister Visitor Center. She said they'll help you with everything. She said they'll help you with clothes, food, utilities. She said anything that you need help with that you qualify for. And just to know that there are people out there that do care whether or not I'm on the face of the earth or not, it means a whole lot. For someone to give something out of the goodness of their heart. I don't know who you are, but thank you.
Often when I'm with one of our retired priests, I can't help but recall the many parishes in which that priest has served and the many lives that he's touched, often over decades of service. This appeal is now our way of returning thanks for the many acts of service in the name of Christ that they have given to us.
One of the things that makes retirement pleasurable is that we not only have the freedom to do the things that we're called or feel interested in doing, but also the diocese has provided for us the financial security and freedom to not have to worry about our maintenance at that time. So in retirement, you have an opportunity to read more, to pray more, and to pursue those particular ministries and callings that come to you in your retirement. And it's a very enjoyable and gratifying time. When we get older and perhaps more frail or health fails, it is a great consolation to know that our health needs will be met and we won't have to worry about that kind of care as we become more dependent.
Within parishes and within schools, every place you look, you really see the handprint, if you would, of the services, the support that's given to Catholic Services Appeal. The Archdiocese is 24 counties, stretching from the Ohio River all the way down to the Tennessee border. And as we reach out to people and parishes in need to help with the liturgical needs, the catechetical needs, that kind of support touches the lives of every one of our 111 parishes.
We have about 350 families here at Holy Trinity. We're here in Fredericktown. It's a rural community, but it's near some significant cities, Bardstown and Springfield on either end of it. We needed to hire a secretary right after I got here. I didn't know how to do that, but Phyllis Wilkins from the Archdiocese Personnel Office came down and walked me through that, and it was CSA that made it possible for her to do that. The Catholic Services Appeal has affected me personally because I feel like it's supported my ministry, it's supported my priesthood. When you can see yourselves as part of that larger family, it helps to broaden our view of the Church. We're all in this one family together, and we should feel an eagerness to support each other.
One of the unseen aspects that is supported by Catholic Services Appeal is the support given to our young people. The retreat programs, for example, that many of our young people participate in, these help to shape the very foundations for the rest of their lives.
I feel like my participation in these programs has really affirmed a lot, about my faith and religion, and has strengthened it. I've always wanted to meet the people who, sign off the checks. I wouldn't be able to do these programs otherwise. I've just always wanted to just say thank you. We may not meet in person, but I really appreciate everything that you do and everything that you have done and will do.
Please consider giving a very generous gift to the Catholic Services Appeal this year. Not only is it so needed to help others, but it will allow your heart to expand and be generous. If you yourself can increase your gift because of God's blessings to you this past year, then know how grateful we would be to that and how dearly that gift is needed. But in a very special way, know that as you lift up the hearts of others, we pray that your heart will feel that gift of generosity and that capacity that you and I have together to bring Christ to others. Boy, Brian, what a great video that was for our viewing audience to see. I was so impressed, especially by the words of Father Tom Boland in what he said about retired priests and their involvement in the life of the church, and our privilege to be able to continue to support them in their own life.
Isn't it great that this time of year, because of the CSA, but other meetings that we have, we get to tell stories. Yeah, and the video had some great stories about some things that go on.
It does. I think it's a great opportunity for people. I know we rely on everyone's generosity, and it's a great opportunity for people to understand the parts of the church maybe that they're not necessarily familiar with, the things that are going on behind the scenes that support the life of the church they see. Often I use the example in the past about this notion of building a house. And if you would, our Building the Future of Hope campaign was about literally building churches and building houses and parking lots, things that you can actually see. To use the house analogy, this is the ongoing need. People all know that you have to pay your electric bill and you have to pay for running water and for food. And so Catholic Services Appeal, in a sense, is that ongoing support that we need every year.
We had a lot of success last year. There's always a danger of resting on our laurels. We got to keep calling people to help us because the needs are so great. The Services Appeal funds things that people never see, like how we help a parish hire staff or how we provide economic support to one project or another. But also it's the direct services to the poor, support for Catholic schools. There's so many different ways. So tell us about this year's direction and goal.
Well, of course, the goal is a challenging goal. It's $3.1 million, and we want to be good stewards. Brian, before we end this segment on the Catholic Services Appeal, please allow me to thank those who have been so generous in the past. Many of you in our viewing audience have been and know people who have been so generous in supporting the Catholic Services Appeal, often sacrificially, because you have your own pressing needs. Thank you again for this year being generous in supporting the work that the Catholic Services Appeal underwrites throughout the services and ministries of the Archdiocese of Louisville. We are very grateful.
That brings us to the end of this segment. We're ready for a little break now, but when we come back, we have a special guest as we have an opportunity to learn about Our Lady's Rosary Makers. So be right back.